A box completely filled with flour had a mass of p kg. One box completely filled, p kg. The box of flour had a mass of 0.5 kg when it was half full. So let's say you have this box. Now, this part is the mass of the empty box. Empty. Correct? But when it is completely filled, it means from here to here is p kg. Correct? Now, the same box when it's half filled is 0.5 kg. Correct? Yeah. So this part is unfilled. Now they want two completely filled boxes of flour was poured into a container. What was the mass of the flour poured into a container? To find the mass of the flour, that means I'm looking at this part, right? Yes or no? To find the mass of the flour. So to find the mass of flour, what I need to do is to use P minus 0.5 kg. Yes? Do you agree? Okay. P minus 0.5 kg will actually give you half the amount of flour in each box. But now I have two completely filled boxes. That means how many halves do I have? Sky. Honest, do you need to face the back? Clarence? 4, right? You have 4 halves, right? You have 4 of this. Am I right or wrong? Correct? Okay, because two completely filled box. One completely filled box will have 2, right? 1, 2. Correct or wrong? Two completely filled box, you will have 4 of this. So you will have 4 times of this, right? Correct or wrong? So if you have 4 times of this, you will be doing a 4 multiplied by P minus 0.5, right? Correct or wrong? Okay. Isn't this equals to 4P minus 2? It is, right? Which means that the answer here is 4P minus 2 kg. 4P minus 2 kg. Yeah, why, Ernest? Sorry? Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't notice, but it's not important. Anyone has any problem with this? Everyone is clear? If not, let's look at question 6. Any problem? Beyond, later help him. Question 6. Question 7. Eldon, can you help him later? Question 8. Okay, let's go through question 8 together. Like I said, don't be afraid to raise your hand to ask. So, at 7 a.m., Natalie and Akil started traveling along the same road to school. Both did not change their speed throughout the journey. Natalie traveled at a speed of 60 km per hour, and Akil would be 20 km ahead when Natalie was at the halfway point. If I'm not wrong, there's something wrong with this question last year. Yeah. You can solve, but I think there's something wrong. I couldn't remember what's the mistake with this question. There's a mistake with this question. If some of you cannot solve, I'm okay with it. If I think I remember correctly, there's some problem. Okay, but anyway, I will still try to solve it for you. Okay, so we have this 2 person traveling along the same road to school. So this is Natalie, and the other one is Akil. So they started off at 7 a.m. Okay, they did not change their speed throughout. Natalie traveled at a speed of 60 km per hour. So this is 60 km per hour. And RQ will be 20 km ahead when Natalie was at the halfway point. So this is the halfway point. Natalie. RQ will be 20 km ahead. So from this we know that who is traveling at a faster speed? Alexis. RQ, right? RQ is traveling at a faster speed, but do you mind sitting properly? Now, what time did RQ reach the school when Natalie reached school at 9 a.m.? So if Natalie reached here at 9 a.m., you know that she took how many hours to travel to school, Kathleen? She took 2 hours to travel to school, right? Yeah. And you know that in 1 hour she's traveling at 60 km per hour, yes or no? Okay. So what is the distance of her school from her starting point, Adriana? (120 km). Do you agree with her? Yeah. Because it takes her 2 hours to travel from her starting point to school, and in each hour she travels 60 km, right? So for her total journey is 120 km. True? Yeah. That's for the whole journey. So I know that here is 60 km. Here is 60 km. Now, do we know RQ speed from this diagram? Do we know RQ speed from this diagram? If you cannot, that means something is wrong because you're not understanding what is the question. Okay, not much finding to do. Okay, I'm going to ask you a few simple questions. When Natalie is here, what time is it? Can we? 8 a.m. Do you agree with him? Okay, traveling constant speed throughout, right? Midpoint, that means 8 a.m. 7 to 8, 8 to 9. Correct? Now, next question. Okay, what time is it here for RQ? Ernest? 8 a.m. as well, right? So, it took RQ 1 hour to travel this distance. And what distance is this, Caroline? 80 km, right? So, what is RQ speed, Isabel? No need to use calculator. I already lay out everything for you. Honestly, there's no need to press your calculator. Stop touching your calculator and tell me the answer. Jingkai, can you shout out her answer because I can't hear her? 80 km per hour. Please be more confident. It's very easy. Okay, be more confident in your own answer. Right? Do you agree it's 80 km per hour?
Yeah. Can you also do 20 km divided by 1 hour so you can find how much faster you travel? Then we add it.
We can, but it's kind of like complicated, don't you think so? When everything is there, don't you think there's sufficient information? One look, you can see it, right? One look. I believe that one look, you all look at the diagram, you know it's 80 km per hour, right?
Yeah, but must show the steps.
Okay. Yeah, I know must show the steps, but one look, you all can understand from this diagram, right? Yeah. 80 km per hour. So, now we know that it's 80 km per hour. Can we find the time taken by RQ to complete the whole journey? Yeah. I can, right? So, because to find time, right, it's actually distance divided by speed. What's the distance, Colin G?
The distance is
120 km. Divide by speed. What's the speed, Colin G?
80 km per hour.
And what's the time taken by RQ? Tell me. 1.5 hours. So when I was marking your speak worksheet, right, I noticed that a lot of you Did not write the units. Some of you give me ridiculous working, things that I never taught. When you receive it, better do your corrections. Aisha, you better present your work properly. Okay, redo every question, present it properly. Don't do it in your own home taught method. So 1.5 hours. You know that they started the journey at 7 a.m., right? Okay. So what time did Akil reach the school, Yun Song? 8:30 a.m. Okay, please write down 8:30 a.m. Okay, 0.30 a.m. Sorry? Yeah, you should. That's the correct thing to do. Okay? Don't do it like Daryl without a timeline. Please, don't give me working like this. This will be marked wrong. A lot of people 7 a.m. plus 1.5 hour. I already told you this is wrong. I want to see my timeline. Okay? Yes. They will minus mark. Please. Another thing I want you to take note. People write 1 dot here. Can you please do not give me 2 dots like this? I know all your digital clock is 2 dots nowadays, but please can you follow the convention of writing?
Yeah, that's what I wrote. So
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
How about time? Like
Okay.
60 minutes plus how many minutes?
If you write 60 minutes plus 40 minutes, fine. No problem. Okay, 60 minutes plus 40 minutes equals to 100 minutes. But please do not give me things like this. Another thing that you need to understand. When I was marking your speed worksheet, I had people drawing me the timeline. Good. So, they give me 8:30 here. Let's say they reach the destination at 8:30. Then you know that they actually took 1.5 hours to complete the journey. So then they say, like that. This is 7 a.m. How can you move towards the right and then your time becomes like moving backwards? Right hand side will always be the bigger time, right? Sorry, bigger meaning like 8 a.m. versus 7 a.m., right? Understand or not? Okay? So don't give me things like this. During your speed worksheet, I close my eyes, I still mark you correct. But please change it. I cannot remember who's the name. I think at least 2 persons in the class that does it this way. I cannot remember offhand. I mark you correct, but please when you receive it, do corrections. Do you know who you are? Nothing to be shy about. There's 2 persons definitely. Okay? Right? Please don't give me that. You are supposed to move forward in time, not move backwards. You move to the right, it's forward in time, not backwards. What? No. Right hand side always goes bigger and bigger. Okay? This convention. Another thing I don't like. Okay? And it's wrong. 1/4 hour equals to 15. Like who knows what is 1/4 hour equals to 15? Yeah, easy for you to say. But how does the marker know? We are not supposed to think on your behalf, you know.
Yeah, but so you have to write one.
That's why I say conversion, you need to write down. Okay? Conversion, you need to write down the units. I already said it repeatedly many times. Yet you are still making this mistake after close to 7 months, 7-8 months teaching you. You need to eradicate all your bad habits right now. Anyone has any question for this? There is a mistake, but I couldn't remember where's the mistake. Okay? Right? But this question, there's a flaw. I couldn't remember where is it. When I think about it, I'll let you know. Yeah, I think this question was void. They got 3 marks for this question. It's not the English. Okay? Mathematically, there's something wrong. Yeah. Okay, anyone has any problem with this? Anyone has any problem? If not, then I'm going to move to the next question. Okay. Question 9. Anyone has any problem? 9. Sorry? For which question? Question? Now you got problem with it? Cents, 95 cents? What's the answer I gave you yesterday? 640 cents.
I read $6.40.
I mean, it is okay, but why do you want to deal with such big numbers? I prefer small numbers.
I don't want to have decimal complications.
Okay? Personally, preferably do it solve in dollars. Okay? Right? What if it's $1,000? Are you going to live in cents? Please. Okay? Right? So I don't think this is a big problem, but try to live in dollars if possible. Question 10.
Whoa, that's surprising.
You must wait for your 2 friends to raise, then you raise, is it? Okay, let's look at question 10. Okay, anyway, it's not a big issue, right? Let's look at here. You're supposed to find the area of the shaded part. But to find the area of shaded part, since you know that we are dealing with circles, quadrants, semicircles, very important, we need to find the length of one side of the square, right? So first step, quite easy done. You just need to square root 196. And Clarence, tell me what's the answer since you memorize it. 14. Okay? Right? After writing his table of square numbers. Lauren, you know or not? Okay. So, it's 14. One side of the square is 14. In other words, can someone tell me what is the diameter of this semicircle? Isabel. Very good. Now, if diameter what? What's wrong? No, I thought I said semicircle. I asked clearly semicircle. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's look at, because when we draw a line, okay, the diagonal, this is what we call a diagonal of a square. Okay. You will notice that these 2 lines intersect or cut through this at this point, right? I can copy and paste this shaded area to here. Am I right or wrong? Correct or wrong? Copy and paste this to here. So in other words, what I get is this area, and this area is entirely shaded. Am I right or wrong? Correct? Okay? You're very rude when you keep talking when I'm talking. So once we copy and paste, you got something like this. Am I right? What can we do? First, we find this area of this quadrant, right? Correct? After finding the area of this quadrant, which is quite easily found, I think all of you know how to find it, right? 1/4 times pi r squared, and the r being 14, yes or no? Okay? Next, I will find the area of this triangle. Can you see this triangle? Let me use another color to shade out the triangle for you so that you can see. This is the triangle. So using the quadrant, I subtract off the green color triangle. Okay, I will actually get this part, right? This is what I call half a leaf. Okay, half a leaf. Okay, half the shape of a leaf. Then I divide by 2, I can find the shaded part. I know there's alternative methods of solving. There's many alternatives, okay? Right? I know a lot of you have different ways of solving. Unless you have a question on how to solve it, then you raise your hand. If it's alternative, I'm okay for you to solve it your own way.
I did it, but then it's because it was a carelessness, so I could like just copy out everything. But my work random.
Anyone has issues regarding the solving of this? Solving. Also can. Same. Also can. I say a lot of alternative. Anyone has any problem? If not, you all need me to solve this out entirely. Okay. So let's look at question 11. Anyone has any problem with question 11? Let's go through question 11 together. Okay, in the figure ABCD is a parallelogram. I have this as a parallelogram, where A is the center of the line CG. So this length and this length is equal distance, right? Or equal length. So let's mark out equal length so it's easier for you to see. This and this is equal. What? Wait lah. How come y'all cannot wait? How come you cannot wait? Okay, so far okay. Next, I have a trapezium. CEFG. This is a trapezium. And very obviously, if this is a trapezium, you know that trapezium has a pair of parallel lines, right? Yeah. Yes? So let's identify the pair of parallel lines. This is definitely the pair. Okay? No need to have any doubts. This is definitely a pair of parallel lines. Because they say GF is parallel to DE. Okay? That means this is also parallel. Okay, good. Now, CE is a straight line. And we have these two angles outlined for us. Now, given that A is the center of CG, someone was telling me that I must also put a line here. Someone tell me that I should put a line here. But which part of the question asks you to put a line there?
No, it's because
Okay, did they say, what did they tell you about CG?
CG on the center circle.
CG is on the, is the diameter, right? Correct? So that makes it equal, right? So there is no issue, but you must recognize that this is the statement that tells you that, okay, this will be the radius. Do you understand? So with that, I can find my first angle, right? Quite easily. Yes? Because it's an isosceles triangle, right? 180 minus 64, I get 116, right? 116, I get, divide by 2, I get 58 degrees. Okay, so first part, quite easily done. 58 degrees. This is also 58 degrees. Okay, isosceles triangle. Next part, I'm supposed to find ADG to find this angle. Yes? So, to find this angle, what can I use to find this angle? That's the question. Okay. So vertically, okay, what is the Z called? Or the Z angle? What is the thing called? It's called alternate angles, right? Okay. So in other words, you will be using, when you say alternate angles, are you using this? Or which alternate angle are you using? A, C, D. Because you are saying this and two are parallel, right? So this angle 58 will give you here, which is 58 degrees, right? Okay, or you can conclude that this is 64 degrees, yes or no? Correct? There's many methods of solving, right? Okay, I know that all of you have different methods. I can tell you, I can list out all the angles in this diagram as well. Because there's many ways of solving. Many ways of solving. Some of you use alternate angles, some of you use interior angles. There's many ways of solving. Okay, many. Right? So, with that, we will know this angle as well, right? Yes? What is this angle? Also 58 degrees, right? Okay. Now, with that as 58 degrees, how can I find the last angle? 180 minus? To find this angle, right? Okay. So, what is the property you are using here? Interior angles, right? This type of angles where you have 98 degrees and this will be 102 degrees, right? Because these two must add up to
82.
oh sorry, 82 degrees.
Why do you like to do everything at once?
Okay? Anyone has any problem so far? So we know that this is 82 degrees. And then we can find angles on a straight line, yes? Also can, alternate angles. I told you there's 101 ways to do it. Yeah. Okay? There's basically many ways of solving it. Okay? Right? Many ways of solving it. Many ways. Honestly. Okay, anyone has any problem? 100% certain? Any questions to ask? If not, then I'll move on to the next question. Question 12, anyone has any problem? 12? Only one person? Yong Qian, later can you help her? Question 13, you're supposed to do corrections, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you some time to do your corrections.